Hi everyone. In the given problem statement of basic calculator, we are given a string s representing a valid expression. Implement a basic calculator to evaluate it and return the result of evaluation. Now, you are not allowed to use any built-in function which evaluates the string as a mathematical expression such as eval, which is present in Python. Now, if I look into the problem statement, what are the things that we are going to get? We are going to get digits. We are going to get two type of sign, plus, minus, opening bracket and ending bracket. To solve this function, we are going to require few variables. One would be the number. Then we are going to require a result. And we are going to require a sign variable, which is going to be either +1 or -1. Initially, the number and result are going to be 0. While we are reading a number, let us take this example 10. So simply when you're iterating through that, right, simply adding one value would not work. So whenever you're getting a number, in that case, the number addition would be number equal to current number multiplied by 10. And then let us, if I say, right, this is a variable s, right, then it would be s of I. This would be the function. So if I look into this application, right, and we also require a stack which is going to be an empty. So let me add these stack values. Now when I'm looping through the entire list, right, so initially our number would be 0. So 0 multiplied by 0 plus 1, it would be 1. Okay, then our number would be 1. So 1 multiplied by 10 plus 0. So initial number would be 10 for now. Then we are getting a sign of minus. So from positive, right, our sign is going to get changed to -1. So once we're getting this sign, then we're getting a bracket. So whenever we're getting a bracket, then what we're going to do, we are going to add the current number and sign. Okay, there is also one more thing to be added here, right? Once we are getting a sign, right, then from our number, whatever value that we have in a number, we are going to add that value to our result. So it would be something like result equal to or plus equal to number multiplied by sign. Then our result value is going to be, so initially, right, our sign was +1, right? So once we get that value, so our number multiplied by sign, so it would be result would be 10. So we are going to add 10 and negative to our stack. Okay, so once we have added those two values in our stack, then our sign is negative and we have also getting a bracket. So once we're getting this bracket, then we have added these two values to our stack, and now currently our sign is also positive, result would be 0, and number is automatically going to be 0, right? So now we are getting 4. So once we are getting 4, right, so number would be number is going to be 4. Then as of now result is 0 and sign is +1. Then we're getting a positive sign. So once we're getting the positive sign, right, so before that, what we're going to do, we are going to add we are going to use this function result number into sign, because our sign was previously positive, right? So our result is going to be 4 and our number is going to be getting 0, and then we got another positive sign, so we are changing our sign in case it was negative to positive. Then we are getting 5. 5 also number, we are going to add it to our number value. Once we have added that, then we get another positive sign, so again number would become 0 and the result is going to be 9. Then we get another positive sign, so we get it plus 1. Then we are getting 2. So once we are getting 2, right, so we got this 2 value, and after that, right, you're not getting any sign. Okay, the result is still now 9 and sign is positive. Then during closing a bracket, right, what we're going to do, so the value would be our, then once we are getting a closing sign, then the first thing is going to do, whatever the result we have and the number, right, we're going to add that to our result. So once you're adding that to result, means 2 would become 0 and this is going to be 11 and it is going to be positive as usual. So that would be our total value. Now what we're going to do, because it's a bracket, right, our result is 11, so it would be, our result would have 11. So one thing to understand here, we are going to do few more things. So we have calculated the value, so now result would be multiplied by whatever the previous sign that was present before the bracket, because the previous sign was negative, so it would be result minus sign, so result would become minus 11. Result would become minus 11, and then we have another 10, right? So 10, which is a positive sign, right? So our result would be minus 11 plus 10 would be 1. Now we are getting another negative. So once we're getting a negative sign, right, the same principles is going to work, and our sign would become negative. Then we're getting 3. So minus 1 minus 3, it would be minus 4. Then we are getting a positive sign. So once we're getting a positive sign, right, so the value would be, here these two are popped out. Now after we again getting a bracket, right, so 4 would be stored and negative is going to get stored. Now we are getting bracket, right, so again number, initially the number would be 0, so we're going to add that number. Then we again pop that number out and result would be 6. Then you're getting a plus 1, right? After that you're getting 8. So once we're getting 8, right, we're going to store that 8. Then again we got in bracket. So once we're getting that bracket, right, so that would basically means that this number is going to get removed and it is going to get added to 14. So it's going to get added to 14. So our initial result would be 14, but we are closing that bracket. Closing that bracket would be mean that our result, right, so it is minus 4 now, so result would be minus 4 plus 14, so it would be 10. So here, right, if I have to sum it up, right, so there are primary two things to be taken care of. So two things that are going to be taken care of. First is this: if you're getting a number, then our number would be number multiplied by 10 plus s of I, whichever value it is getting. So in case it's a digit. Second is in case it's a positive, right? In that case, we are going to do result would be number multiplied by sign, and then our number would be initialized to back to 0, and sign, in case it's plus and negative, so sign would be +1 for positive number or plus positive sign, or -1. In case it's an opening bracket, then first thing that you're going to do, it would be result equal to number multiplied by sign, and again the after that, right, whatever values, it would be plus equal to, it would be plus equal to, so whatever value we are going to get, right, we are going to add that to add number to stack, and then add sign to stack, and then make the sign to default, which is +1, and the result to be 0 in case it's a closing bracket. In that case, what we're going to do, we are going to first have the result plus equal to whatever the number you're currently holding, right? So number multiplied by sign, then we are going to pop the element. So first, whenever we are popping it, it would always be sign. So the result would be result multiplied by sign, then result plus equal to the number that we're getting it up. So it would be the popped out number. So we can say stack sign and stack number. And once we're getting that, right, once we get that result, so again we are going to make sign to default +1 and number to be 0. That is the idea, but there is one edge case which you have to take care of. In case, right, the values is 1 plus 1. Okay, so in that case, right, the result initial number would be 1 number. After we get plus, then the result would become 1 and the value of number would be 0. And when you're going to return that value, right, that would look fine, but we have still one more number that we have not calculated. Means that 1 is stored in the number, because after we iterate through, right, it would be stored in this number, but it's not going to get added to the result, because after that there is no bracket which is going to take care of it. So in that situation, what we are going to do, when you're returning the result, in that case it would be plus sign multiplied by number. So in this case, right, it would be 1 plus sign would be positive, 1 plus 1, which would be 2. So 2 would be the correct output. So there would be few edge cases which have to take care of and which should be going to handle in the code. Either all, right, if I look into this entire code that I have written it out, the time complexity of this entire code would be big O of n, which is pretty efficient because you're iterating through the entire string one time. So that would be the idea. Now let us jump to the Python solution. The first thing that we're going to do, we are going to initialize our number variable. So it would be 0, then it would be result equal to 0, and sign would be initially a +1. Now we are going to define our stack, which is going to be an empty stack, and then we're going to loop in through our entire string. So for val in s, now if our val is a digit, is digit function we can apply, then number equal to number multiplied by 10, plus int of val. Elif val in plus or minus result is going to be plus equal to of sign multiplied by number. Once we get that, we are going to change our number to 0 because already whatever number was stored, we have added it to our result. And if val equal to positive, then sign equal to 1. If val is negative, then sign equal to -1. Elif val equal to, we're getting an opening bracket, then the first thing we're going to do, we're going to add that value to our stack dot append result, and then stack dot append our sign. So result is going to come first because it would be lower down the stack and the sign would be on the top. So when we pop it up, the sign element will come first, and then result would be initialized to 0 and sign would become +1, which is the default one. Elif val equal to the closing bracket, in that case result plus equal to sign multiplied by number and result stack dot pop, and then result. So whatever the result would be, right, it will be multiplied by the current stack value. So result plus equal to stack dot pop. So we are going to add that number to our result, and then we are going to initialize our number back to 0. So that will be all the edge cases we are taking care of. In case it's a digit, in case it's positive, negative, in case it's a bracket, opening or closing bracket. Now we are going to return our result. Return result. But there was one more edge cases that we have to handle. In case it doesn't have a bracket for the first case, right, 1 plus 1, so that last one would not be added using our current stack. So we will have to do with our result is sign multiplied by our number. Now let us try to run our code. I hope there aren't any spelling errors. We're getting one runtime error. Let us see what is the issue. It's a number is not defined. Okay, I made a spelling error. Let me try to run it back again. As you could see, the public test cases are passing right now. Let me submit the code. As you could see, the code submission is successful and it is beating 77.30%. And this code cannot be further optimized because it's currently big O of n, which is pretty efficient. So that's all for this video. See you in the next one.